Our early understanding of plant kingdom led to the belief that organisms with cell walls are plants. So we included fungi, blue-green algae, some Monera, besides the algae, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperms and angiosperms in plant kingdom. Now we know that fungi, blue-green algae and some of the Moneras, they do have cell walls, but their cell walls are not made of cellulose. So now we have excluded these organisms. You've already studied about these in previous lessons. In fact, you know that blue-green algae have now been named cyanobacteria to avoid the confusion. So now our current classification of plant kingdom includes organisms with cellulose cell walls only. This includes algae, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperms and angiosperms. In class 9, you studied about classification. You recall organisms were earlier classified into land, water and aerial based on where they lived. This classification was given by Aristotle. He also classified plants into herbs, shrubs and trees. These classifications were based on single criteria, and you know that based on these classification we cannot know much about the organism except for its habitat or its size. These classification systems are therefore known as artificial classification systems. Besides these, based on number of criteria used, we also have natural classification systems and phylogenetic classification system. Now let's study about the artificial classification. These were the earliest classification systems and these were based on only one or two identifying features, and these identifying features were such which could be seen from outside, which could be easily identified. These might be the external morphological characters or habit of the organism or the habitat of the organisms. Now these were mainly based on vegetative characters because vegetative characters are easily seen. Even if they were based on reproductive characters, vegetative and reproductive or sexual characters were given equal weightage, and this classification system was given by Linnaeus. The classification system used by Linnaeus was based on single criteria, that is androecium characteristics or the characteristics of stamens. Considering the point at which these systems were introduced and used, it was easy to identify and easy to use. Still, it is used for differentiating between closely related species only. But this classification system had some major disadvantages. First of all, vegetative characters are not uniform throughout the year or in all kinds of habitats. Vegetative characters change with environmental features. And since these classification systems were based on only few characters, sometimes unrelated organisms were placed together in one group. Natural classification systems are based on natural affinities of organisms. Here, multiple characters are included. Now, in this case, external as well as internal characteristics are utilized. Besides the vegetative characters, the ultrastructure, the anatomy of the plant, the embryology and the phytochemistry, etc. are used. Natural classification system was given by Bentham and Hooker. The advantage is it gives information about natural relationships between groups of plants, and since it is based on multiple characters, it is more accurate. Some of the discrepancies of artificial classification system are still there in natural classification system. Sometimes it still happens that unrelated organisms are placed in the same groups. The most accurate of the classification system is phylogenetic classification because it is based on evolutionary relationships of organisms. So organisms with common ancestors are placed in same taxa. The family tree of the organisms is known as cladogram, which is a very important tool for phylogenetic classification. Now, evolutionary relationships are still a matter of study. For quite a few organisms, we do not know the ancestral history of the organism. So, as and when new information is available, phylogenetic classification is being developed based on ancestral records, based on fossil record, etc. So, phylogenetic classification system is still a developing field or a dynamic field. The classification system was given by Hutchinson. Here the chances of errors are minimal. So you will think that this is the perfect system with no disadvantages. But there are disadvantages because complete ancestry records of many organisms are not yet available. The fossil records, the DNA analysis is still being done. So phylogenetic classification is still in the infancy stage, it's still developing, and we cannot use this classification system for study of all organisms. Now, on the basis of which type of data we are using for classifying organism, taxonomy can be of many types. Here we'll be discussing three major types. The first one is numerical taxonomy. Here, every character is assigned some number or some code, and then based on how many characters are similar between two organisms, a statistical analysis is done. For this, computers are utilized because the data is massive and the analysis needs to be very accurate. And then on the basis of analyzed data, we draw conclusions about the relationship of different groups of organisms. The second one is chemotaxonomy. Here, as the name suggests, the classification is done on the basis of chemicals present in the plant. So, a plant may have various alkaloids, phenolic compounds, crystals, etc., which are unique to a particular group. For example, tulsi has a unique smell, or guava leaves have a particular kind of smell and taste. So these are due to certain compounds, certain chemicals which are unique to that particular group. So on the basis of presence or absence of these chemicals, organisms are shifted from one group to another. So chemotaxonomy is more of a correctional method rather than inclusive method. We cannot classify an organism based on chemotaxonomy, but if an organism is wrongly placed in a group, it can be moved to the correct group. The final one that we study here is cytotaxonomy. Cyto stands for cell. So cytotaxonomy is based on cell-related information such as number, structure and behavior of chromosomes, which is a very important characteristic for classification of organisms. Now a broad look at classification of plant kingdom. Broadly, we divide the kingdom Plantae into two groups, those with seeds and those without seeds. The plants without seeds, or the cryptograms, and the plants with seeds, that is the phanerograms. Now the cryptograms are then divided into three groups: algae, bryophyta and pteridophyta. So these are plants without seeds which do not bear seeds. The phanerograms are divided into two groups, the gymnosperms and the angiosperms. So overall, the kingdom Plantae is divided into 5 groups or 5 divisions. In this lesson, we'll be doing about all these 5 divisions. With this, we come to the end of this introductory session. Before you can start solving the questions, a recap of the topics covered in this session. Next, we'll try to solve a few questions to check your understanding of the topic. Here are a few questions for your home assignment. Try to solve them. In case of any doubts, you can view the video again. Happy learning. Thank you. Bye-bye.